drop the mic right there, just drop off and go.
Thank you, Lord. Thank you, Jesus.
I don't know how to follow that. Bless him, Lord. Bless him. We're just going to go to the book of Job.
Yes, bless him this morning.
Lord. Look at Job.
Oh, glory. Glory, glory.
Look at the book of Job. Start with chapter 1, verse 1. I'm just going to move right along. Hopefully. Glory.
Come on, bless him, Lord.
Yes, bless him, your Lord. Preach him, Lord. Yes.
Oh, goodness. God's good. Good to have everybody this morning. Everybody that's here. We thank Pastor Steve for being here. It's encouraging to see him walk through the doors. We're praying. That's how God works, isn't it? God is one of those that you just stand in awe. Say, man, Job, you're so good. And that's what Job did in his life. We're hoping we can get somewhere with this. In Job chapter 1, verse 1, it says this: there was a man who lived in Uz whose name was Job, and that man was perfect, upright, and one that feared God, and he eschewed evil or shunned evil. It says, and there born unto him 7 sons and 3 daughters. His substance also was 7,000 sheep, 3,000 camels, and 500 yoke of oxen, and 500 she asses, and a very great household. So that this man was the greatest of all the men of the East. How can we become the greatest man of the East? Wherever we are. How can we become one of the greatest men there? And I think that one of the things, I'm going to look at verse 1, but we're going to go on. I've got a lot more, just open it up thing. One thing that I think that we got to do, to have the healing, to have the things that God needs us to have, we accept God into our life, we become saved, we become followers of Jesus Christ. Then there's one thing that I read, that we read here in the thing, it says, his name was Job, and that man was perfect, upright, and it said, one that feared God. Glory.
Yes.
Bible says, but when you fear the Lord is the beginning of what? Wisdom and knowledge. What are we fearing today? Are we fearing what man can do to us? Are we fearing ourselves going to the doctor? Do we fear what disease is going to overtake this body? Do we fear getting old? We're fearing every single thing. Yeah, we get 19 prescriptions, glory to God. I knew I'd bring something up from that. I'm bringing your message into mine, brother. How's that? So we had those 19 prescriptions, but what are we fearing? Are we fear what is coming on upon our body? Yes, we may have put ourselves in these situations. Yeah, we may have had our health this way. But guess what? When we fear God and only God, and we shun the evil, we shun sin, we walk away from it, we go a different way, we don't hang around it, guess what? God can start working in us. But until we start fearing Him and getting away from sin, guys, it's going to be very hard. Because we see that
Bless him, Lord.
he had this family, he had a lot of goods, he had a lot of things, but he says he's one of the greatest men in the East there. See, I'm not trying to be one of the greatest things. What I'm looking at is there's a lot of people here stricken with sickness and things that have been going on in life, right? But there's one person who can take care of it all.
Yes, amen.
Right.
Yes, sir.
And what are we trusting in?
Yes.
Is this going to defeat us? Well, it may look like it today, but we got tomorrow though. Because God is always there. We have God, we always have the next moment. We always have tomorrow. Whether it be here or whether it be in heaven.
Yes, amen.
I have tomorrow. I'll win. Either way.
Amen.
We can't worry about what goes on in life. We can't worry. Now, I'm not saying that there's not worries of this life. Yeah, we have to pay bills. We have to do the things that we do. But guess what? We have to have more faith that God can supply these things than it is us to worry about.
That's it.
We have to believe that God can do this. Why? Because, guys, sometimes it's hard for Him to bless what He does not possess.
Yes.
If He possesses us, guys, He can truly bless us. But guess what? I don't want to be the one that gets to heaven and there's a big room of blessings there that I missed because I did not have enough faith. Or I did not follow Him because I was worried about what the doctor's going to say.
Yeah.
Or I'm worried about what medication I'm going to have to take tomorrow.
Right.
No. And I know that there's people, even my own life, dealing with what issues I've had in life. Notice, I had in life. Glory. And you're doing things that people don't think you're going to do. You're doing things that people don't agree with you trying to do. Let's take the easy road. Let's just make sure we have this. This is security. My security is not here. My security is somewhere else.
Amen.
I've got to walk in faith. I've got to walk with, you know what? Is this going to upset God or is this going to upset man?
Ready to go, brother.
God's the one I got to worry about.
That's
Fear
it.
of the Lord. Fear here is to have a. Let me tell you, I'll practice this and I'm very good at it this morning. Reverental. I don't know how. Y'all understand what I'm saying, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Y'all, somebody, if you don't, I can't get it out any clearer than that. Reverential awe.
Yes.
Yes.
That's fear of God.
Stand in awe. Amen.
That's what we should have.
Yes.
And then when God, I'm going to get ahead. And also, he said that he, what? Shunned evil. Shun is avoid deliberately and especially habitually. You continually avoid it. You'll continually run away from it. You'll continually stay away from it. What do we do? He had all these things. In verses 4, 5, for the second time, we're going to have to just skip. He has, it says what it is, their houses, and one day they'll have the sons, and then he goes and he sanctifies and he burns offering and all this stuff. In verse 5 there to verse 5. Now verse 6, it says, and now there was a day when the sons of God came to present themselves before the Lord, and Satan came also among them. And the Lord said unto Satan, whenceforth thou comest? Then Satan answered the Lord, answered the Lord, and said, from going to and fro in the earth, and from walking up and down in it. What's going on here? We see that there's a day now Satan come up, and the Lord asked him the question, where did you come? Where did you come? And Satan answered and said to the Lord, from going to and fro in the earth. Now let me tell you something. I don't think Satan's going around trying to spread good cheer and joy, is he?
No.
No, he's not. He's trying to get us to battle what's going on in our mind, what's going on with our health, instead of trusting in Christ.
Yes,
what's going on, what happened in our past. Let me tell you something. What happened yesterday is as yesterday.
Amen.
We got to move on. We cannot let our past take over what we got to do tomorrow. Our future is our future. What happened yesterday is yesterday. Yes, there's a lot of things that goes on that's happened in our life, but we got to let it go.
Yes.
Because Satan is walking to and fro. What's he doing? We go to the doctor's office, and what's he start doing to me? He starts saying things. What if you're sick? What if you have this? What if you got to have it? I start doubting myself. We start thinking about that. But then, guess what? We have to just get back and say, you know what? I might not feel saved today, but I know I'm saved today. I know that you're living in my heart. But God, I need you to help my unbelief.
Yes.
Help my unbelief here. I need you to do these things. But we see that Satan is going to and fro. So what's he doing? He's going in and out of our lives on a daily basis, and he's trying to stop us. He's trying to slow us down. He's trying to stop this church from meeting. He's trying to stop it from doing whatever it does on a weekly basis. And guess what? We all are not here some during the week. Why? We're scattered out doing things, right? God has us out here. So what he's doing here is getting us ready for out there. And guess what? We're going to run into Satan when we're out there. So we got to get ready now. Why? Because he's going to and fro. He's running around. And guess what? He's running around in our mind.
Yes.
He is getting us with our mind. Oh, about what we did in the past. What happened in the past. All these things. Yeah. You know what? Things are real from the past, right? But we can get over it. We can get through it. But it's up to God to get us there. Because we put our faith in everything else, but God is the key. God is the key here for us to get to where we need to be. So we see that it just talked about who Job was, this and the other. But it says, and the Lord said unto Satan, which comest down? Satan answered unto the Lord and said, from going to and fro in the earth, and from walking up and down in it. Verse 8, it says, the Lord said unto Satan, hast thou considered my servant Job? Let's get real now, right? It just talked about what it was. One that feared God, he shunned evil. He's one of the greatest around the east, right? Then Satan comes around and starts talking. Christ said, well, have you considered my servant Job? Sums up with that, right? Glory.
Blessings.
We can look at that two ways. We can look at it in a negative or positive. We can look at it as a positive. He says, have you considered my servant Ray? One, if I'm in a conversation and the Lord's saying, have you considered my servant Ray, then I must be doing something pretty good, right? And He knows the outcome of it, that it's going to be positive. Do you understand what I'm saying? God's not going to put us in a place where it won't work. He knows us He knows us all that we do. He knows us whether we're going to do these things the right way, whether we're doing everything right. He knows all these things. And I believe that God's not going to put us in anything where we can fail. I believe this. I believe this is what it says. The Lord said, as I consider my servant Job, and there is none like him in the earth. None like him. I'm not even, we try to, our example is Christ we're supposed to live by, right? I can't even live up to Job. People told me, before in my life, they said, you're a Job. You're walking around, you go through, and then you start studying on him, I'm like, no, I'm not. I don't think I'm quite there yet. He's still working on me. And hopefully one day I might get there. But it says, there's none like him in the earth, a perfect and upright man, one that feareth God, shunned and escheweth evil. Shuns evil. Then Satan answered the Lord and said, doth Job fear God for naught? Verse 10, it says, Hast not thou made a hedge about him? Glory. How many of you think God's protection is out there? Amen. How many of you pray protection around Pastor Steve in the church?
Amen.
Yes.
Yes.
We need to.
Yes.
If you're not, we need to put that hedge of protection.
Amen.
Amen. Because let me tell you, guess what? Pray for me too. I need a hedge of protection. Because I get myself in bad situations in life sometimes. Oh, Lord. And there's only so much hedge, man, And sometimes, I'm out here doing crazy stuff, trying to get people, paintball and all these things. I get myself hurt, injured, and all these things. I don't think that was God. Sometimes Lord, was that really you? Because what am I doing? It's like I got a hedge clipper. I'm just cutting down my hedge. And Ray, come on. He's trying to protect me, and I keep cutting my hedge down. Anybody ever done that? Cutting your hedge down. Yeah, God's trying to protect us, but we cut our hedge down because we're doing crazy stuff. Right? So what we do, we see that it says, don't you have a hedge protection? Don't you have that hedge around him? He's not getting through that hedge if God has that hedge around us. He's not coming through the hedge if we have that. Now, guess what? We can jump over the hedge or I can cut it down. Just like I do in my life.
Yeah.
God's protection is there. He has this hedge there. Satan knows when the hand of God is upon us. Satan knows when the anointing of God is upon us. Satan knows where he wants to be and where he don't want to be. And if we're on fire for God, he might not want to be there until we cool off a little bit, right? Because he's going to see everybody else at all those demons at us and guess over glory. But I want to be one of those Christians where he has to keep sending demon after demon to try to slow me down a little bit, and they get tired and have to go home and recharge. And I need to just keep going to where I need to go. That's my goal, is to just wear them out, because guess what? They have wore me out over the years. And guess what? It's payback time.
That's it.
It's payback time.
Yep.
And I'm not saying I'm perfect, but I'm saying this. I know that things in my life, I've done some myself. But guess what? I believe sometimes the devil has tried to slow me down. The devil has put things in my way, and I have fallen. So I have to be aware. Because we have to realize that Satan knows all. Some of the things going on with us. And so thou hast made a hedge around about him. And about his house. Right? And about all that he hath on every side. And that thou hast blessed the work of his hand. That protection is everywhere, isn't it? It does not matter whether you leave your house. You're going to go on where you work and you work with your hands. Guess what? He's going to take care of that too, isn't he? Yeah. He's going to take care of those things that we have. Because why did Job have what he had? Because he was working for it, and God had that hedge around it. He said, you know what? It's not about what I really have. It's just about he's trusting God. He's fearing God. He's staying away from evil. And he's saying, I'm going to do the right thing. Yes. And that's what we have to look at ourselves. Are we doing the right thing, or are we just trying to get by? Again, the possessions is not wrong, is it? It's what we have before the possessions. Or is possessions driving us? Success driving us? Money driving us? Or is God driving us? And then protection's driving us. And God allows us to have the work and the jobs. put our hand forward to do the best we can with it, then He continues to bless. He can continue to bless that because we're doing what we ought to do. The works of His hands and His substance is increased in the land. He's going to keep increasing it. God has these things. Now, it says, but put forth thy hand now, verse 11, and touch all that He hath, and He will curse thee to thy face.
Yep.
No, we're going to get good here in a minute. It says, and the Lord said unto Satan, behold, all that He hath is in thy power, is in your hand. Only upon him put not forth thine hand. So Satan went forth in the presence of the Lord, from the presence of the Lord. So Satan left. He had permission to take care of all those things, but he's not going to touch Job yet. It's coming. Glory. He's not going to touch Job yet. But he has control of everything now. Oh, man. God knows Job. God said all these things about Job. Satan knows what Job, but Satan's saying, you know what, but if we get rid of everything that he owns, if we can get rid of all of his substance, all of his possessions there, he'll curse you. Because he's saying, he's trying to make a bet. He's saying, you know what, he's more about the possessions than God. He's more about the possessions than he has than the ones who gave him the possession, that helped him receive it. And guys, we have to look at ourselves. What are we focusing upon? Yeah, things can look there. Now, look at this. It says, and there was a day when the sons of daughters were eating and drinking wine in their eldest brother's house. And there came a messenger unto Job and said, the oxen were plowing and the asses feeding beside them, and the sea beasts fell upon them and took them away. Yea, they have slain the servants with the edge of the sword, and only I escaped to tell them. So he's telling him this, what went on there. Then verse 16 says, while he was yet speaking, there came also another. There's somebody else coming and bringing some more bad news, right? Now we got, verse 16 had bad news there. I won't have time to read it. Verse 17. So, 17 it says, and while he was speaking, there was another said, the Chaldeans made out 3 banks and fell upon the camels and have carried them away, yea, and slain the servants with the edge of the sword, and I only escaped alone to tell this. Somebody else told him something else. Verse 18, while he was yet speaking, there came also another. It says, and said, thy sons and thy daughters were eating and drinking wine in the eldest brother's house, and behold, there came a great wind from the wilderness, and smote the 4 corners of the house, and it fell upon the young men, and they are dead. And I only escaped alone to tell them. All these things happen. Then what happens to us? If we have all these things happen to us, how do we handle the situation? Glory. How do we handle when doctors tell you what they tell you? Whether it's good, whether it's bad. Good, we're okay, right? Bad, we start thinking about it. But then we see that with possessions, you know, well, I lost this, I don't have this. He's losing everything. He's lost everything. Lost his kids, lost all his possessions there. What did he do next? Verse 20. It says, then Job rose and rent his mantle, shaved his head, and fell down upon the ground and worshipped. And as I looked over, seen Pastor Steve standing there. Thought about that verse. You got adversity, things going on in your life, but you come to worship. That's right. Yes. Glory. You come to worship.
Amen. Yes.
It don't matter about anything else because you're not there for anything but to worship.
Amen.
To worship God, to tell God, you're the reason. It doesn't matter about anything else. You're the reason I'm coming here. I'm coming for you. Glory.
Amen.
That don't get excited. That's exciting right there to look up and see that. And it says in verse 21, this is what Job said. It said, naked came out of my mother's womb, and naked shall I return thither. The Lord gave, and the Lord hath taken away. Blessed be the name of the Lord.
Hallelujah.
Glory. You know what? Sometimes we have good health and sometimes we might not. But blessed be the name of the Lord.
Yeah.
Glory to God.
Amen.
That's what it's about.
Yeah.
Yes, I've had this in my past. Guess what? It can't get better. You just gradually just keep going. What do you say? When people ask, how do you feel? I'm good.
There you go,
Amen.
man.
I'm good.
Rest alone.
There's people say, you're lying. I'm good.
Yes.
That's
It
it.
doesn't matter. But I'm good.
Yes.
I'm trying to walk the way that I need to walk.
Yes.
Amen.
Glory.
Bless him.
Blessed be
Glory. And then guess what?
Holy Spirit.
When we see the church when we see the people of the church doing things, then it's just like the testimony, Brother Rick, guess what? It just starts spreading throughout the church.
Amen.
Yes, yes, yes.
Because who's it going to be this week? Glory. You come in here, man. Glory. As Jesus was passing by and said last week, right? As he's
Yes.
walking by, you should reach out and get a hold of that light, right?
Yes.
Who's it going to be this week?
Amen.
Glory to God. Go from the 19 pills.
Amen.
Glory. Who's it going to be? Who wants it? Glory.
Amen.
And then verse 22 it says, in all this Job sinned not, nor charged God foolishly. Chapter 2. Y'all give me a few more minutes.
Come on, bless
I've
the
got
Lord.
things to do. I got a little bit.
Reach on, brother.
Now, chapter 2, verse 1, it says, and there was a day when the sons of God came to present themselves before the Lord, and Satan came also among them to present himself before the Lord. Does that sound familiar?
Yep.
Glory. Has he not suffered enough already? Is that what we say? Have we not just suffered enough? How many blames God for what's happened sometimes? I like the way Brother Rick put it. I've done this. I did this. One of the things in the class of teaching in jail, and one of the main points that we have is you do not blame others for your disobedience.
Amen.
Right.
Yes.
Amen.
Simple.
That's right.
What we've done is what we've done.
Yes.
It don't matter whether if you're riding, if you're going somewhere and people doing things, well, you got to find a way out of that situation. If you keep doing the things wrong like that, then well, he made me do it. No, he didn't. You did.
Yes.
You don't have to go. You don't have to do these things.
Bless him, Lord.
Don't blame others for disobedience. I like for people to stand up and say, it's my fault. Hey, my things in my life is on me. And I want to blame the situation, but I still didn't have to do it. And you have to pay for it.
Yes.
And that's what you do. You man up and say, yeah, it was all me. It's all me. And what you do, you thank God for still loving you when we do mess up like that.
Amen.
You have to. Now, look at verse 2. It says, the Lord said unto Satan, whenceforth thou comest? And Satan answered, and the Lord said, from going to and fro the earth, from walking up and down. Sounds familiar again. The Lord said unto Satan, hast thou considered my servant Job, and there is none like him in the earth, a perfect and an upright man, one that feareth God, and he shuns evil, and still he holdeth fast his integrity.
Integrity. Amen.
Glory.
Yep.
That's when it gets us. Guys, we have to walk the way that we need to walk. The way that we have to walk.
Come on.
What I tell people is this. I don't ask people to do the things that I have to do to stay on my walk. I got to do it for me.
Yes.
I can't worry about anybody else. I don't, I do what I do for me. Because I got to do my walk. I got to walk with the integrity that God's given me.
That's right.
He said talking about Job, then he adds that in. That's just another kicker. That's just another me getting farther away. I think I'm getting closer than it just one verse just killed it. It just takes me right back, one word, with the integrity. I didn't always walk in that. It says, although thou movest me against him to destroy him without cause. It says, and Satan answered the Lord and said, skin for skin, yea, for all that man hath will he give for his life. He give it for his life. Now, verse 5. It says, but put forth thine hand now, and touch his bone and his flesh, and he will curse thee to thy face.
Yep.
And the Lord said unto Satan, behold, he is in thy hand, but save his life. Do what you want, Miss Gee, you're not going to kill him.
That's right.
You're not going to kill him. Huh? Do you think anything good can come from that? We don't think, no, we don't think so. We don't want to see people suffer, do we? And I'm not saying that it's good to see that. It's very hard to see people go through what they go through. But when I go into the jails and minister to the men and women there, it's hard for me to be there and get to go and they got to stay. Now, for one, I'm glad. I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm human just like everybody else. But I'm glad I get to go home.
Yes.
But I'm sad for them. I'm sad for them having to be there and us having to go there to have church. Instead of them, see what happened is when they were out, sometimes they didn't come to church. Sometimes that's why they're there. Because they didn't have any type of godly example coming in around them. That's why as a church we have to go outside these walls.
Yes.
If they're not going to come here, we have to go there.
Amen.
And find a place outside this church to get a hold of them. But guess what? Sometimes we go through things. Job was going to go through something. He's saying, you can do what you want to him, but you can't kill him. He said, but if I do that, he's going to curse you. Verse 6 says, and the Lord said unto Satan, behold, he's in thine hand, but save his life. Verse 7 says, went Satan forth from the presence of the Lord, and smote Job with sore boils from the sole of his foot to the crown. It's not good, is it? Nobody wants to be sick. Nobody. Cancer's out there. People can't.
Bless him, Lord.
I gotta go. He has all these things, has all these bowls, and it says what? It says that he took the potsherd and scraped himself withal, and he sat down among the ashes. That's one of the things. So those sores are there and all that. And one of the commentaries and reading on it was talking about that it was almost disfiguring the bowls and sinning and all that stuff. One, we don't want to be that. But guess what? Cancer's out here. All these things. We've got blood issues, heart issues, all these things going on. It's hard for us to see. But I do believe this. I believe no matter what happens during these situations, we have got to keep trusting God.
Amen. Amen.
Just like the song we sung, Through It All, right?
Yes.
Through it all. We can't trust anything else but God's the only one. We have got to learn the first breath that when we wake up in the mornings is Jesus.
That's right.
The last breath when we go to bed is Jesus. Then wake up, we start all over again.
Amen.
It's about Him being first in every single thing. And I'm not saying that He's not on our mind sometimes, but I believe that sometimes we have to do these things. Why? Because when times like these come up, we have to be ready. When the sicknesses come and the trials of our life come upon us and issues of life come, how many of us are ready?
Yes.
We have to be ready some way. And if we already know Jesus and Jesus is walking, we're walking with Him, and we get up, the first thing we recognize is, Jesus, I need you today, or Jesus is the first thing that comes out, that's a good thing.
Yes.
Because we're saying, Jesus, no matter what we're going through today, I need you. It's about you. No matter what the circumstance may be. And some of the best messages I've had is when I sat at the gynecologist's office. And I took my little bitty Bible in so nobody can see me. Don't want nobody to know I'm reading the Bible. A little black thing. I just keep little things. And it was one of the quickest messages I ever got. It was quiet. Nobody bothered me. I sat away from people. I don't want to disturb people. So what I do, I went over and said, and God gave me something in 5 minutes. That's what it's about. Again, I'm not carrying a big Bible in for people to see what I'm doing. It's a little bitty thing. And I hide in my jacket wherever I can hide that. Because I'm not ashamed. You understand what I'm saying? But I don't want to offend people. I don't want to go out there and just say, look, this is what I do. I'm not doing it. I'm saying, God, I need you. Because what's God going to do? He's going to send the people there too.
Yes.
Just like at the laundromats and all these other places that I go. God will send the people, have them there ready for me. So I do what I have to do. Now I do try to, again, I don't try to try to offend anybody in any way. But I do know this, when I go there with the purpose. That is, God's going with me. And when I have that little, I still got my little New Testament from 5th grade. It's in my truck. From 5th grade, 70 something. Still have it, still carry it. Never let that go. Small enough for me to hide it wherever. Take it wherever I need to. Now let's look at verse 9. So we see all these things that we go through, guys. We have to make sure what we do. Now, this is what Job was going through here. It says, then said his wife unto him, dost thou still retain thine integrity? Curse God and die. This is where family gets involved sometimes, right?
Yep.
That's a killer. That could be a killer for ministry. I tried to, coffee out. I try not to talk, when Pastor Steve's preaching, I try not to talk to him a whole lot before. Because he's got to be focused. You understand that? Because what if I say something negative that gets him down, man? He has a job to do. He's out to do God's work. It's not for me to bring him down before he gets started. So what do? I stay away. I go back here and sit in the corner. Let him do what he gets to do, man. Glory. Because why? He's feeding me.
Yes.
He's feeding me. I don't need to help him. And guys, it's just like us. If we're doing things with our spouse, we know that they're doing, that we're out time to work for God. We don't get there 5-10 minutes before and be negative. We don't need a negative Nancy in our life, do we?
Right.
We don't need it at home. You get enough of that in the world. But he got this. Think about it. When he had all the possessions and everything like that, what happened is everything's fine in the world, isn't it? When the trials come, is where people really come out. Their true self comes out when the trials and tribulations come. That's what happens. That's why the spouses stand fearful sometimes. Yeah. Before God, that's the way I was. Even when I got God at the beginning, I was still a little fearful, man. Because I wasn't sure. Does that make any sense? I wasn't sure. But when God keeps doing the things, but we see here that family getting involved. All these things. Are you going to keep your integrity? So what do you do when the enemy comes against us? What do we do when the family comes against us? How are we going to respond? Saying, what about your integrity now, big boy? Look at you. Look at Pastor Steve. He's come out of the hospital, right? What if somebody goes in there, man? Yeah. Well, yeah, he's really got God. He's in the hospital. Where's his faith? How many ever heard stuff like that when you're sick? Yeah, I have, for years. That's why I'm good. Glory. Because they're negative, don't need to be around. I'm good. We have to do these things. Now, look at this. Verse 10, it says, but he said unto her, thou speakest as one of the foolish women speaketh. What? Shall we receive good at the hand of God? Shall not receive evil. When bad things happen, who are we going to blame? We're going to blame ourselves because we caused some of it? Or we're going to say, God, why are you letting this happen? There's people that I do run into, and they think, well, everything is else their fault. And I keep asking some questions, and they give me answers. I said, so no, whose fault was that? You're drinking and you got behind the car? Who was driving? And you hit this person, so what did they do to cause you to do that? Really? And then they start thinking, oh, well, maybe it was me then. Do you think? Sometimes, guys, it may be us. We may be the issue.
That's right.
But guess what? We, as Christians, we have to look and say, you know what? We have to say it doesn't matter what my family says. It doesn't matter what everybody else says in the world. I'm going to follow Jesus. I'm going to do the right thing the best that I can. I'm going to. No matter what they say, no matter what they're doing, we have to do the right thing. Again, we all don't, all the spouses in here, you don't get along all the time. You have, right, yin and yang, right? So, you got two little things there. What do? I got to go outside. You say, how can I love her more? Then I have to start a car for the rest of our life in the morning. 85 degrees outside, it doesn't matter. It runs better, that's what I heard. They get used to it, right? So what did I do? How can I love her more? Every time I go pray that, I'm like, God, what are you going to have me do now, man? So I'm just walking, trying to walk with integrity. Say, you know what, God, how can I help her in this situation? Because I don't understand her because she's a woman. She don't understand me because I'm a man. And I don't have proper English sometimes, so I don't get things across right. Y'all understand? Y'all know that, don't you? We don't get that right. But it says, what shall we receive good? At this hand of God, you shall not receive evil. Some things when we don't agree with our spouse, guess what? There's good things they do, and there's bad things. But guess what? We've got to look at ourselves. We do the same thing with them, right? But it says this. In all this did not Job sin with his lips. So instead of us saying things, we have to make sure that God is leading us. Now look at Job 42:12. I'm going to close right here. It says, so the Lord blessed the latter end of Job more than his beginning. So for he had 14,000 sheep and 6,000 camels and 1,000 yoke of oxen and 1,000 she-asses. He had also 7 sons and 3 daughters. In our life, we may have this down period. We may have issues just like Job did, but Job did not sin. He went on. And guess what happened? God blessed him, didn't he? He restored what he had lost. That's the way that God works. As said in Joel, said, I'll restore to you what the locusts have taken. So guess what? What we may have missed in life for a little bit of time of illness, God can restore it. God can bring it back. God can help us after. But our focus is not on the possessions. Job did not worry about the possessions. He worried about the one who possessed them. He said, he helped him in every way. Yes, they were taken away. There's another song Jeremy Camp sings. It says, give me Jesus. Take everything in this world, but give me Jesus.
Amen.
We sing that song, but do we really live it? If something goes away, man, we freak out sometimes. But guess what? We still sing that song, give me Jesus. If we could just receive that and say, Jesus, all I need is you. And we can do that, that's awesome. Because guess what? Through the trials, we're going to be saying, all I need is Jesus.
Yes.
Through being on the mountaintop, all we're going to need is Jesus. If we can do that every single day, our life can be a lot better. Job made it through his and everything that he went through. But he did not sin. He did not charge God foolishly. He did what he was supposed to do. He worshiped God through having plenty and having nothing, and then God restored it all. Brother Dave.